sadness, frustration, irritation, feelings, emotions. These have been coming up for me the last couple of days. Not sadness, but mostly frustration actually. And I was thinking that I wanted to share a little bit about this with you. So if you know this kind of like sometimes everything's very nice and good, sometimes not at all. Ups and downs, right? Kind of how life is for most people. Some people are most down, some people might be most up, but I think most people are going like this. And I wanted to share some insights about this with you, hopefully to help you to experience these kind of emotions in a whole new level, on a whole new level, and use this to actually learn more about yourself and care less about the world. I'm Michael, and I've been working with personal development, with spiritual stuff, with business for the last plus 20 years now. And I work with clients. I'm a coach, I'm a mentor. I work with clients actually all around the world, but mostly in Denmark. And part of it has been business because most of my life has been business. And I create some pretty great results. So I have a lot of insights, a lot of experience that I can share with others and help them. But a big part of it has also been the personal development part. And I started my journey with personal development with the mind, with meditation, which I actually started as I think I was 8 years old or something, to stop all the thoughts in my mind. They kind of really got me going like I was crazy, and I didn't want all of those thoughts. So I started practicing meditation, and I've done since, and a lot of different kind of meditations. But I started with the mind, and different kind of mindset trainings, different kind of thinking in new ways, and it helped me, and it took me to the next level, because for me at least, emotions have been something that I never really shared with anyone, and that's, I share my childhood stories in another video, and please go and check those if you want to. Maybe you can relate to this, because I didn't have an easy childhood. My father was a drunk, alcoholic, and lots of disappointment that really still sometimes shows up in my body. And my mother worked a lot, and I didn't really feel like, when I look back, like loved, like taken care of, like feeling safe. There was all the opposite emotions, and these things from childhood, they sit in us. And the thing was for me that the whole mindset thing was very good. But I also know now that coming below this area, down into the body, beginning to experience the emotions, beginning to also express them, there was a whole new world opening for me. And I was not ready to cry. I was not ready to show love. I was not ready to be vulnerable before I before I was around 40 years old. And that's because of my upbringing. And I don't know if you can relate to this, and maybe it's different from where you are, or which part of the world, if you are a woman or a man. But the thing is that for me, I was brought up not to cry. I was brought up not to express myself. I was brought up not to be vulnerable. I was told to just, every time I hurt myself, to just stand up and run and play with the other guys, and just bite the tears inside. And obviously, being brought up like that, it sat deep inside of me. So when I began my journey of going down into the body and beginning to actually be aware of what is going on inside, I was not consciously, not like with my focused mind, but as I see it now, more with a part of me that didn't want to look into all of that. It was scared. It was. Um, yeah, I didn't want to look into it. And I see that now when I look back, because the thing is, there was a lot of feelings that has been suppressed. There was a lot of emotions. And when I started opening the lid, I did do a video about that. I actually, all of this that has been held down for so many years, it didn't know really what to do. So I had some days with intensive crying. And I share this because beginning to become aware of what is going on inside, that's a journey. And that journey, at least from my experience and from the clients that I help, that journey takes so much courage. Because a big part of us as human beings don't want to go into that. Because when we begin to look into those things, it's kind of, there's a lot of names for this: false self, ego, whatever it is, trauma. It's kind of like these things don't want to be looked into, because if they are looked into and actually acknowledged, and like, it's okay, you're here, it's okay, you're part of me, and then they might dissolve, and then it's like everybody else, right? We don't want to dissolve, we want to be here. And so it's kind of like a very difficult thing to look into this, because a big part of us is scared of it. And so it takes a lot of courage, but we have a big part of us that really don't want to look into it. Which brings me back to the opening. And as I started with those emotions of being sad, of being frustrated, of being irritated, and I had this frustration emotion the last couple of days. And what I wanted to share, and hopefully this makes sense to you, but the problem is it might make sense up here, but your whole system needs to kind of resonate with this and see how you can use this. Because when these emotion comes, what people normally do, what I did for plus 40 years, is to run away from them, is to numb them, is to do all what's possible not to just be there with them, because it's scary as, I'm not saying that right here. So what we can do, what I learned, and this is very deep, is actually, and this is the deepest love for ourselves, is actually to be with that part of us, not running away, not watching TV, not going out and buying stuff, not going out and be with a lot of friends, not doing a lot of stuff, but actually just be with you, me being with me, experiencing that sadness, experiencing that frustration or irritation. And as I say, it's easy to say it, I understand that, but that's love. Where I am right now, where I sit now, that's the deepest love. Actually acknowledging that there's a part of me that's frustrated right now. And I'm not arguing with it. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just experiencing it. And then I am asking questions to that, but I'm not going to share that in this video. So what I wanted to share with you in this video is actually from where I am right now, is actually this ongoing journey of self-development, of growth, is actually to, yes, work with the mind, because that's a big thing. Yes, work with the big thing that's all of you, all of your body. And when I say work with, it's kind of more like actually allowing whatever comes up and acknowledging it and loving yourself even more, because now you are in a situation in your life where you actually, I tell this to myself, where I actually am not running away from myself anymore. I'm with me. Like if it was my kid, if it was my daughter, I'm with her, I'm with me when these feelings comes up. It's okay to have feelings. That makes me a human being. It makes you a human being. And even though those feelings might not be nice, might be something that we feel hurts, it's okay they're there. Because when we listen to those, we acknowledge ourselves too. Even though it might not be ourself, because as people say, when you go into the true self of you, there will be only like the bliss. And I experienced that bliss. I'm not there, and I'm not sure I will be there, and that's totally okay. There's going to be bliss all the time, because where I am right now, I actually think that even people who work like me with self-development and spirituality for so many years, we still have sadness coming up and frustration coming up and pain coming up sometimes. But instead of running from it, what I want to share is just love yourself even more when this comes up, and just like hold yourself and just like, I hear you, I feel you, I'm here. So I hope this somehow makes sense to you, and somewhere. And if it does, and if you like what I'm talking about here, please give me a like, because that's gonna help me and the energy of all of this. And if you want to give it a heart and show me some love, I would love that too. And I would really appreciate, give me a comment, share something kind of an aha from you, or if this resonates with you, in a loving energy, obviously. And if you haven't subscribed and you want to hear more about things like this, then please do subscribe. It's Michael and it's Plusek, and there are some links below this video. And I just really want to wish you a great day. Thanks. Bye bye.